Hello everyone, Obi-Wan here and welcome back to Timberborn, where unfortunately I have to start with some bad and some good news regarding our massive water barrel. So the bad news first, I did some research on how water storage works in this game, and unfortunately storing water for the purpose of drinking it in a natural reservoir is highly inefficient. The problem we have is, if we go to that water storage over here, you can see it has a capacity of 1,200 and its footprint is just a 3x3 with 3 blocks high. So that's 27 in total. This can store 1,200 water, which is about 45 per block.
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
Whereas regular water blocks, if they are not inside one of these barrels, can only store 5 to 6. So this massive water barrel might not even have a capacity that exceeds or that far exceeds just chugging down 1 or 2 of these barrels down here, of these large tanks. So what we can't do, or what we shouldn't do, is use that as a drinking water supply. But what we can do, what we will do, is use that as a massive automated irrigation tower. We already have an exit right here where we can let out some water. And then from here on, we will dig some trenches all the way to the right, to this river, all the way to the left, to this river, and then also some additional trenches somewhere, don't know exactly where they're going to be, but basically to reach all of this area and make all of this green. And then during the drought, instead of using that for drinking water, which we will just store in regular tanks, we can then automatically, through the use of sluices, let out water to keep the entire area green. That's the plan. And to do that properly, the first thing we need to do, unfortunately, is delete a few of these levees over here, because we need sluices all the way to the top of the irrigation channel. So we want to let out 2 rows of water, or 2 columns of water over here, so that the water level can be raised all the way to ground level over here. Otherwise, the range of the irrigation is not large enough to cover a large area. Then on this side here, what we thought, or what I think makes sense, is getting rid of these builder huts. We're not using it anyway at the moment. And then we can add these hydroponics gardens over on this side. So let's add 1 here, 1 here, 1 at the back. Come to the back side and just add 2 additional platforms, just like this. Then it might also make sense to get rid of this forester, bring that to the other side. On the other hand, if you look at how this is structured at the moment, these warehouses line up perfectly with everything else, but these ones will not. So ideally, we would need to get access to all of these levels of warehouse and also hydroponics farms without the stairs in the center. And I think we should be able to do that. These ones are almost empty. Yeah, so let's rework this real quick.
A few moments later.
Now let's think about access. So we will build 1 of these hydroponic gardens facing this direction. And then I would assume we will do 1 in this direction. And then also a warehouse or a large industrial pile in this direction. And we will be able to access both of these through just 2 simple stairs right here. And adding a path to this. I think it makes more sense to just leave that at 2 levels for now, and then instead of going further up, we have some space down here which we're not using. Let's just add another industrial pile facing this direction, and then another one facing this direction, because we already have the stairs in place. And then for the hydroponics, we'll do the same thing. We'll have 1 facing this direction, 1 facing this direction. And then we just need to connect 2 paths. Let's also connect a path on this side and get rid of all these resources on this side. All right, over here, we are almost done with the explosives. Let's speed up or increase priority of this wooden stair over here so we can reach down there. And then there's just 1 more row up here left, which we have explosives and extract. That should be perfectly fine. Nice, look at that. Overnight we reached our goal of 20 well-being, which I think is the new high score for me personally even. So that is really great. Don't know exactly what it was. Might be the food. Anyway, we are still short on beavers, and I would assume the treated planks are still a while away if we want to wait for all of these to grow one last time before we chop them down. So I guess it makes sense to just, at least temporarily, add a few more regular breeding pots. So let's just add one here, one there, highest priority. I just noticed on this side, I think we should potentially change this here to also have 2 rows of sluices. Because this is just 5 wide, and we will have 12 water sources over here making bad water. So my assumption is, as soon as we block this off and only let water out over on this side, this will all flood the entire area. So yeah, let's delete the sluices, the levees over here, and then just put in a second row of sluices, and then just use dam pieces at the top, I think. And with these dam pieces in place, we should then be safe just in case these 10 sluices here are still not enough. Awesome. These guys over here brought you the last few dynamites. So with everyone being away, I think it's time to detonate. Now this one. Okay, here we go. And this is then where we are going to drain all of the bad water. I guess the next important step is on this side. Let's increase the priority of all of these sluices and dam pieces, and then next add in all of the dynamite. And we have the next drought approaching. Again, I don't think we need to do a lot to battle that. We should be pretty well prepared for all of it. We have enough water, we have a pretty decent amount of food, so I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Really?
What I do want, though, is add another hauling post. You can see we only have 3 vacancies. All of them are haulers. And with the amount of storage we have filled up with construction material, you can see we are full of planks, full of gears. Can most likely pause a little bit of our industry, not just during the drought, but in general, to speed up the production of some of the other stuffs and maybe even construction projects. I think we need some more builders back. We just deleted 1 builder hut down here to make room for the hydroponics plant. But I would assume somewhere around here we can add some new ones. Yeah, if you just go ahead here, add a double platform to this part, and then 1 builder hut here, 1 builder hut here, path in the center, and scratcher. I don't know, doesn't matter. Let's speed up priority of that one and that one, especially with the drought approaching, because then we have all of these people available here, all of these beavers available here for the construction. The upcoming drought might be a perfect opportunity to do some construction on this side over here. I'm a bit worried that when all of this is filled with bad water, that this area here might overflow. So ideally we want to build levees in this gap over here. And I think we can't build on top of these ones, of these blockage. No, we can't. So we need to get rid of that first, but that we can only do that during the next drought, ideally. So let's prepare for that. We'll put stairs all the way down to here. Add path to all of this, and then also make that top priority. Then we should be able to construct something on this side. Let's also put some platforms in place. Also, I forgot, let's make these high priority as well. Alright, and the builder hut over here has all of the materials delivered, so we just need someone to finish working. Here we go, there's the builder. Nice, so now we have all of these building huts finished, while we still have some power left. We're still on 10 vacancies, which should all be haulers, I guess, again. Yeah. So let's already stop all of the gear workshops. We don't need them for the moment. And we also don't need any of the planks. Alrighty, the drought started. I don't think we need to do anything. All of our systems should handle that themselves. One thing I noticed, though, is you can see over on this side, there's plenty of trees that are not cut. And my assumption is that's because these lumberjacks over here are busy transporting logs away, because this storage is full. This storage is almost full. The rest is not yet built. We need that soonish. And then the only log storage they have is back on this side. So they spend all their time traveling instead of cutting trees. Which means we should delete that one. And then they should no longer run all of these large distances. And it might also make sense to speed up the ground level construction here first, so that we have some more space to store logs. Alright, over on this side you can see this is now dry. So what we can do is we can start working on the levees on this side. So that one here, and then I think we need to raise these to level 1 and this one to level 1 as well. So because when we delete these blockages over here, we don't want this puddle and this one to dry out. Also want to stop these water pumps so that nothing gets dry, and all of these log pumpers as well. So now let's demolish these blockages. Everything on highest priority, obviously. Right, everything here is removed. So let's put in levees. No, wait a second. Let's just, what we can add here, I think we should add floodgates, just in case we want to control some water in that area. We are not technically needing that, but just in case. Just noticed here on this side that we can add another set of swimming pools if we add more floodgates over here. So let's just do that as well. We can add a levee right here. We are going to need a couple of these platforms here, just temporarily. Oh, that was too much. Whoops, delete all of these. And then also add a stair down here, path to this one. And then we will add the triple floodgates all the way to here. And then we can add 2 more of these swimming pools over on this side. And again, I forgot to increase priority of our most important construction project, which at the moment are these floodgates, because as soon as the drought's over, which is pretty long, I just noticed, it's 6.9 days left. This needs to be finished by then, and we only have 900 water left, so we already went through 500 of what we have stored. That is not good. I guess it makes sense to reactivate our pumps over here. We have enough food stored, so if all of the crops die, that shouldn't be too worrisome, hopefully. So I hope we can get our irrigation tower up and running quickly, because with these droughts getting longer and longer, this will definitely kill all of the crops we have over here. Or we need a lot more water storage. Okay, these floodgates over here are in, which is great. And with all of these constructions going on, look at that. We ripped through our wood supply. We are down to 15, and there's not a lot left on this side. So let's prioritize the forester to get some of that planted. We want all of this to be planted as well as soon as the barrel is filled. And then over on here on this side, we can definitely add a few more lumberjack flags for the moment. So let's put one here, one there. Yeah, and maybe even another one on this side, like right here. Highest priority as well. Okay, it looks like logs are stabilizing for the moment with the additional lumberjacks we have in place. I hope all of these trees will be grown by the time they are done with harvesting all of this. On this side, the forest is also done, so we can now add the pine trees in over here that we wanted to add, just to get this started. And on this side over here, you can see all of our dynamite is ready. So we can detonate these two, and detonate all of that. I said detonate these two. Oh, what's happening here? What's going on? Wait, closed. Why is the water running away? What should happen? Okay, let's set up these sluices properly. So we want these to close above contamination of 5, and these ones to close below contamination of 5, and set them to auto. They are currently closed. Don't want that. Yes, so these ones are auto opened because there's no contamination behind them, so this is correct. And these ones are auto-closed because... oh, we need to set both levels. So they are auto-closed because of contamination. These ones aren't, so that's fine. Oh, look at that. These ones are almost dried, and we still have 4 days left. So I guess it's time to open... first of all, open all of these, and then slowly open these up. This is good. Let's open a bit more. Not like last time where we accidentally flooded the entire area down here. Yeah, so there's still plenty of space, so we can flood the rest. Okay, so there's nothing left, so we can now open that up. And then in theory, if we just open these for a moment... That was a bit too much again, sorry. No, this is fine. So now we have this area down here refilled, and the swimming pools over here also open again, so that's great. And look at that, our barrel, or at least the lower level of it, is now done. So now all we need to wait for are these few sluices to be produced. Let's put them on medium priority. And then as soon as this is done, I guess it makes sense to focus on finishing the aqueduct so that we can actually start filling this barrel up with water. For the next drought, this one seems to be okay. We still have 1k water stored now with the pumps back running. There's still a decent supply of water back here that we can utilize, and it's just 3 days left. We can also detonate these ones here to get the sluices for the aqueduct in. And these only need a single row, and then the top one can be levees. Yeah, so for these ones we need the overhangs of size 4, which need 1.8k science. We have 1.7, so almost there. And to build them, we also need a bit of structure over on this side here so that we can reach them. So let's just put temporary stairs in here, add a path around it like this. Oh, nice, look at that. Work on the aqueduct has begun. This is so good. We can't reach this area over here, but that's not a problem. We will just add paths on top of the aqueduct, and then we can build most of this just from the top of it. So that should be fine. We'll do the same thing over here. I think there's nothing wrong with having path on top of it. Might make it easier to reach everything else that we need. I guess we also need a way into the aqueduct to build all of these things. Don't know why I did 2 here. 1 is enough. Oh boy. Oh, wait a second. Everything he dried.
What?
Dried out. No. This is not good. Let's open that up. Let's out all of the remaining water. Let's stop all of the pumps for the moment. Don't think we need them. We should have enough water stored for 2 more days. And this should at least prevent the crops from dying. It should reset the timer. Well, not for these ones. These have 16 days. These have 14 days. Yeah, okay, they should all be fine. Well, these ones. Oh, the soybeans. They die so quickly. I did not know that. Oh yeah, so the crops die in a really short amount of time. The trees are fine. It's good to know. Okay, so this is now solved, but no more swimming for the next 3 days. Just realized we already have a way into the aqueduct. We don't need these over here. Over here on this side, I emptied this 1 water barrel. Can get rid of that now. I would like to use this 2 wide gap over on this side to build the additional irrigation channel. So for that, we need to get rid of that ledge over here, because this is definitely in the way. Let's high prioritize that. Oh, before we detonate these dynamites over here, one thing I completely forgot to mention, you can still, of course, let me know down in the comments below if you want to be part of the beaver colony. There are no new colonists in this episode because the last one didn't release at the time of recording, so you guys might not be aware of their chance, but if you want to be part of the beaver colony, let me know down in the comments. Let's detonate. Right, here we go. So now with this out of the way, can extend the path all the way to here, get rid of the other one, and then in landscaping, let's go to dynamite. To have this. We'll move these out of the way as soon as the drought is finished, and then just go 2 wide all the way to here, 2 wide all the way to here, and then I guess somewhere in this area, and do a triple, and I guess maybe here. We don't need all of these. Alright, the drought has ended. Not 1 moment too soon. I think we are already pretty dry down here, so this is good. We can activate at least some of the plankers down here. We still don't need the gear workshops because we are not using any gears yet. We will use as soon as the update 7 is available. I don't want to go to the experimental branch, at least that's what I think for the moment. But when update 7 is available, we will utilize a lot of gears for the tubeways. Okay, let's see, the water is coming back. It's now overflowing this area, so we should see the smelters and the number cruncher get up and running. Swimming pools are getting filled. Getting filled a bit too high. Should recede, hopefully. Yes, it does, so that's good. Down here, everything is also looking good. Everything is up and running again. We can unpause the pumps. And then over on this side, let's see what the bed water is up to. It takes almost the entire day for the water to come back. We have the required science for the new overhangs. So let's go to size 4 overhangs over here. Then down here. And then on this side, I guess. Yeah, what we could do is we could do another round of size 4s to this side. We might be able to put something below here that is actually useful, or just fill it up with platforms, not sure yet. What we definitely do need is the levees over here and over here. Last thing we are going to do for the day is clear all of these for replanting, because this is where we are going to blast the channel all the way to this part of the river for the irrigation. Yeah, and over on this side, we have two options. We can either use the outlet we already built over here and bring the water all the way around the corner, like this. That would be an option. The other option, which would mean deleting part of the barrel again, would be to just add an outlet on this side and just blast 2 holes in here. And then we are done. I think this is the more sensible option, even though it means deleting part of the barrel again. I'll leave that up to you. Let me know what you want to see. Want to see a larger channel over here, just a single exit, or which is, I think, the more fancy looking version, or the simple version of just blasting in something in here and then call it a day. That's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.